What is up? What is up, family? So now that I'm coming on here on Tuesdays, I'm just transitioning YouTube to Tuesdays with Tamoa because I definitely think that is the right thing to do. How is everybody feeling? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? I'm feeling good. I don't know about this weather though. It's funny because I had the heat on last week. Actually, it wasn't last week, just a few days ago. And now I have the air on because I'm hot. But then I'm also going through my own personal summer because I'm at that age, even though I'm not going to tell you my age, but if you know, then you know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to hop on to talk about financial trauma. How are you? How are you healing from your financial trauma? I know that that is not something that people generally think about. More or less, people usually just think about all the things with the money that have gone wrong, right? All the things that happened when they were younger, the experiences they had, how they grew up, the feeling of lack in their life because of money. And then when you get older and all of the experiences you have with money, the jobs you go through, not having enough to, I don't know, even pay the bills, right? Like your light bill, buy food, things you go through like divorce or bankruptcy, natural disaster, which I've talked about the last couple of weeks because those things are all around us. Um, but really, even though we can see our current situation that we're in, and many times it makes us feel, upset and frustrated and sad and depressed. But the thing is, we praise money when we have it, but I feel like when we don't have it, we curse the money. Like it's so weird because we get mad, we get upset as if it's the money's fault. But when we have it is great. So like what I can equate that to with my mindset is, when I used to, because I don't really get income tax checks anymore, but I used to get, a good amount of money with my income tax check. And it was so great. And I would wait like all year and I had all of these things that I wanted to do with it. I write everything down, whether it was like pay off bills or like, I don't know, buy some furniture or do all of these things with the money. Then I'd have these plans, and all of a sudden, all of these other things started happening. So the car breaks down. I don't know, the refrigerator goes out. Just all of these weird things start happening. And I'm like, wait, wait, wait. So these things are happening, and I just got this money, and I have all of these plans set for the money, right? And then I get upset, and then I don't get to do everything that I wanted to do. But I sat and waited for this amount of money for whatever amount of time to come. And then I'm getting mad because things are happening in life as they do. But really, it's my failure to plan. And really, I realized it was my mindset about the money in the first place. You can't hold on to it and collect it that way, because really when you do that, your mindset is coming from a place of lack already, just to start off, right? Even though, you know subconsciously or consciously, you're thinking the money is coming, oh, this is great, I have all these plans. But subconsciously in your mind, you're still coming from a place of lack because you're thinking this is the only time that I'm able to do these things, not all year long I'm going to have a certain amount of money, or I'm going to have some abundance around money. So I'm not going to have to build everything into one time because I'm getting $7,000 or whatever the amount is. So I know sometimes people don't like to think of money in this way, um, but money is our friend, right? But it has to be our friend all the time, not just when we look like or feel like we don't have it, or the reality is you may not. But we still have to have our mindset in a way that is positive around the money, because what you are thinking unconsciously sometimes is coming into fruition. That mindset of lack because of all the things that you've been through, in the past, or the fear around money, or not being able to talk about money with your spouse, or the bills, or the things. We go to work every day, and somehow we just magically think, we don't talk to our partner or our spouse, and somehow we just magically think the bills are going to get paid, and I don't know, the money's going to work out our issues with communication that we have, that we're not talking about the money. But if the bill doesn't get paid or something happens, then we're mad at our spouse, but we haven't talked about anything. So our mindset is so important when it comes to really changing the landscape about how you think about money. Now, this is a constant practice. It is not going to, just because you have these tools or these things that you've started, right, to help yourself. Think of all of the years up until this point where you started changing your mindset around money, that you were already programmed or trained to think that money really isn't your friend, or that money is evil, or that you'll never have enough. So it's going to take a lot of practice and development and intentionality for you to change your mindset. Even just a thought of, you go to the grocery store, right? And say it's something that you really enjoy buying, like, I don't know, let's just say fruit, right? Like, you love strawberries and watermelon and pineapple, and because you're thinking about money so much as you get things in the grocery store, and this is something that you like, that is good for you, you choose the smaller amount of the pineapple, of the watermelon, or whatever that is, and the larger amount is literally $1.50 more. But because our minds get so trained in lack, even though getting more fruit will be better for you, be healthier for you, will make you feel good, it tastes good, it makes you feel a certain way, right? It makes you feel happy, we'll still choose the $1.50 less. That's that is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a lack mindset. Because the lack mindset also has to do with how we think about ourselves and our self-worth. I know a lot of times we don't feel like one is tied to another, but many times it is. And I'm not talking about somebody going out and buying some luxury item and that's going to be equated to their self-worth. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about everyday decisions that we make involving money, that are connected with our thought patterns because of our past about lack, which equates, are you worthy of a certain thing? That's what I'm speaking about. And if you're conscious of it, you realize how many times you do it. Because for sure, look, choose me. I constantly did this. No, let me get this one because it's 50 cents cheaper. Oh, 50 cents cheaper. But I really wanted the other thing. But somehow it wasn't even about the 50 cents. In my mind, there was a place of lack which was equated to my self-worth and what I really deserved. So, that is the first part when you think about financial trauma and you think about flipping your mindset, is really looking at yourself and looking at how your mind is programmed to always think that you're lacking something, or you're coming from decisions from a place of lack. Whether that's because you didn't have money growing up, or your parents never talked about money, or you went through some kind of traumatic situation, or sometimes you may have money and you hold on to it so tightly that that can also create a thought process of lack. So, all of these things are things that we have to start doing. There is a whole process and a whole plan and a whole program when it comes to shifting our mindset, when it comes to our money and our value as a person, or how we think of the value that we have. Um, Money does not bring you happiness, but happiness brings you money. And so, what I mean by that is, think of like when you go to a restaurant, right? And you have like great service, the server is great, like the ambiance, everybody's happy, the vibe, the music, you order more food, you order more drink. It's just such like the experience is amazing. So that experience brought you happiness. So you bought more, right? You may have tipped the server even more just because of the experience, which means your experience that made you feel happy actually allowed you to spend more, right? Which is giving the other person something, which would be money, right? So your happiness can bring money. So that person that you gave more money to, or that restaurant that created that experience for you, basically created you to be able to give more money. So the restaurant brought the happiness that had you to pay them. So that's what I mean by happiness can bring you money versus money bringing you happiness. It's actually the opposite. I know if you think about any type of service or something that you'll like drive an hour to, and you'll pay whatever amount of money because whatever it is making you happy in some way. It's serving a purpose to make you feel or have a positive experience. And my thing is like, if you're a business owner, um, or even in your 9 to 5, right, where you're working to bring money or revenue in the business, think about the experience that you're providing your client or the customer, right? That's making them feel a certain way, right? Yes, they need the service, but they're going to pay more. They're going to go out of their way if you're making them happy, if you're providing that fulfillment inside. They're going to want to pay you more. So the happiness is going to equate to the amount of money that you receive. I really just one of the biggest things that I talk about when it comes to financial therapy and financial trauma is the fact that our self-worth is tied to so much of our mindset revolving money. Um, I know for me, when I didn't have it or I was going through, a really difficult time financially, the first thing that usually started in my head is negative self talk about, oh, I don't make enough. Oh, I don't have enough education. Oh, I'm managing my money, just not in a good way. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm not. So all of those negative thoughts equate to your self-worth, and in return it's how you actually are looking at the money, how you're looking at your finances. So that's why coming from a place of lack in your decisions and your self-worth again are so important, and they're so tied together. The reality is, yes, if you're in a financial situation that is not working for you, it seems hopeless, it seems sad, it seems all of those things, beating yourself up in the process and coming from that negative space over and over and over again is not going to change your situation. And it took me a long time to remember that. And again, it's still a daily practice. I am always having to be intentional on canceling those thoughts. I was having those thoughts today, and I had to cancel the thoughts when it came to my business and all of the things that I wanted to do and all of this. And, having that thought like, oh, you can or you won't or whatever, you have to kill those thoughts. Like, you literally have to like dead the thoughts, because the thoughts are not going to produce the money. Right. And then maybe some people will say, well, not having the thoughts won't produce the money either. But I disagree. I know for sure having the thoughts is not going to produce the money. Once you get past that point and you start saying, you know what? Yes, maybe I didn't budget properly. Yes, there are other things that I can do that can bring more income. So then you just say, I didn't know, but I know now. So now what am I going to do so that I can bring more income, collect more money, create more abundance for myself and my family? So now what I'm going to do, I realize that that wasn't the way, or this is what got me here. So instead of beating myself up because I didn't know, I know now. So now how am I going to take action on making that change? It seems very simple, and it is very simple, but it just really starts with making a decision and doing it in small increments every day, like choosing the bigger fruit bowl in the store versus choosing something that won't make you as happy. Knowing that you're worth more than what you think your value really is. So I just want to send everyone so much love. I appreciate your time. I love coming on these lives with you with for Tuesday with Tamoa. And have a great rest of your week. And we have an episode coming out very soon, so look out for that. I love you guys.